Welcome to UCF Knightline, your source for UCF sports and former player information.
Hello, Night Nation. This is Andrew Phegley coming to you from the 1148 studios, and joining me today in studio is...
Today and every week, Trace Trylko. Hello, everyone.
Alrighty, yeah, that's true. Today and every week. And we're back every week now.
I know, not just every couple of weeks. That must mean the summer slowdown is starting to wind down and football is almost here.
It is coming fast. This is episode number 44, and football's coming fast.
I mean, it's really just a couple of weeks away, and they'll be back in fall camp.
September 3rd. Yeah, and September 3rd is the first game against FIU.
The Golden Panthers.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
It'll be something.
Yeah, I mean, you know. So we've got a couple things to talk about this week. We do not have a guest on this particular show, which is fine. It's just us.
There are no rules.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish there were no rules, but there are rules. Not the FCC rules, but there's Andrew's rules, which are sometimes very, very thin lines.
And sometimes change.
Yeah.
From week to week and mood to mood.
Mood to mood, day to day. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about, what are we going to talk about, Trace? We're going to talk about all kinds
no
of
rules.
Stuff.
We're going to talk a little bit about football.
We're going to talk about UCF. That's what we're going to talk about on the UCF Knightline Podcast. By the way, if anyone would like to call and give us some ideas of stuff to talk about, I want to give the number out again because we haven't had any phone calls in a while, and I haven't given the number out, and I haven't asked for that for a while. So
there could be a correlation between all of those.
Yeah, yeah. 407-205-7427, 407-205-7427, 407-205-7427.
And if you're the ninth caller, well, that's 9 more than we've had the last couple of weeks.
That's true.
We haven't been asking.
Yeah. Also, you can send us stuff at UCFKnightlinePodcast.com, or you can send us stuff at UCF_Knightline on Twitter. And
another milestone this week on Twitter.
400.
More than 400 Knight fans.
Yeah. 400 followers. It's not a lot, I know, but we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely. We have numerous followers a day, which is nice. Some of them, I have no idea where they come from. You don't speak English.
It doesn't matter.
The writing is in
we'll take them.
Russian. I guess we have some listeners, though. I've been looking at the stats. We have listeners in a lot of different countries. I believe that there are UCF graduates all over the world. And I am honored, to be honest with you, that these people listen to our show.
You got to remember two important things.
We are worldwide.
That this is the fastest growing UCF sports themed podcast.
It is, absolutely.
It is the number 1 rated.
It is.
UCF sports related podcast.
It's also the
just go with those two
only
things.
One.
Now that point, I would leave that out of the marketing materials.
Yeah. But it's, well, you know, there's got to be a one.
We know the audience is growing. You can tell by clicks and listens
and
things
awesome.
Like that.
So hello to the people in Russia. I wish I could say it in Russian. Hello to the people in Israel that listen. Hello to people all over the world that listen. Thank you so much for listening. It's awesome. So anyway, on to some discussion about football. Where do we start, Trace? What happens? Where do we start first?
Well, I think what we were talking about a little bit was, as camp gets underway soon, a couple weeks away yet, a snapshot of what we think, just upon first glance, before we get through camp, assess injuries, depth charts, things like that. How do we think they're going to fare? How do we think UCF's going to fare?
First of all, if you're going to stop listening now, next week we have Phil Steele on. He will be our guest. Phil Steele, the author and publisher of
Phil Steele's College Football Guide.
And that is the Bible of college football. You can buy it at your local anywhere. Bookstores, grocery stores, convenience stores. This is the one book that will. He is the college football guru of gurus.
Featured on ESPN.
He's
writes
featured
it himself,
on everything.
In depth,
Yeah.
and he's going to be talking with us about UCF and the upcoming season, as well as the AAC, UCF's prospects. He'll join us for the full hour. No, we don't have him for an hour.
Well, no, we don't have him for an hour because I think we have him for like 17 minutes.
Yeah,
but
this guy does so many appearances all over the
and
country.
we talked a little bit about that last week.
He
but,
dials in everywhere.
Oh my God, yeah, it's awesome. So anyway, he will be here, I guarantee, on the podcast next week, and it's going to be awesome. So we wanted to talk a little bit about some stuff beforehand, though, and I wish. We could get you guys' opinions real time or whatever, but we would love to hear your opinions about what we talk about on here because, we want to make this a listener-oriented show as well. So,
as interactive as you can be, not being live.
Yeah. And you never know. One of these days, maybe we could pull off the live thing. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a Google Hangout one of these days or something like that. So back to the discussion that we wanted to have.
All right, let's go game by game, and we'll just banter about the one-loss record. Home opener against FIU, win or loss?
Well, obviously we're going to win that game.
If we lose that game, it's not good.
It's not good for the rest of the season
No.
if we lose that game.
No.
It would be like losing to Connecticut last year.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
So we're going to start right off with a 1-0 record.
Yeah.
No talk of losing every game. It goes right out the window after September 3.
Right. It's going to be a beautiful Thursday night, 6 p.m. on some kind of TV.
ESPN 3.
ESPN 3. You
Maybe,
can watch it on your phone, your computer.
No, that one's on CBS Sports
Oh,
Network.
well, okay, that's even better. You can watch that on your actual TV. And speaking of TVs, I heard that they're going to have maybe some TVs around the.
Not yet. That's a future plan.
Oh, I thought that was going to happen.
I didn't think that was for this season.
Well, we'll see. This or next season. Anyway.
So that one's 100%. You're putting the mortgage on that one.
Oh, it better be, or we're in for a long, long, long year.
All right, at Stanford.
That game to me is going to be going to be the hardest game, of course. Number one, you're traveling from the East Coast to the West Coast. You're going through time zones there where it's difficult. You're going to have the guys are going to have some jet lag from that. It's going to be weird. They're going to be getting up and going to sleep at different times. They're
not showing up the day of the game. They'll have some time to get used to it.
Right. It's kind of like not as much, but it's almost like going to Ireland last year.
Well,
in a way,
not as challenging. I mean, that was more than 3 hours time zone difference.
It's more. It's the West Coast is
3
3 hours. That's
3
it.
hours. That's it.
Okay. Well,
so it's a 10:30 start Eastern time.
It was probably 6 hours last year then, I believe. So it's still going from the East Coast to the West Coast, it's a little weird because, time zone changes, number one. Going to a place like Stanford and, they're a smash mouth football team. They're a lot like what UCF tries to do playing smash mouth football and does do, I guess.
Win or loss?
I don't really see us, as much as I would love to say that UCF is going to go out there and whip them and make their first game at Stanford be a good thing. I think we're going to get hammered.
Hammered. Oh goodness. A win there though, and it's setting up what could be a really nice season.
If for some reason, if we don't get hammered, if it's not a blowout.
Okay.
No, I'm serious. I mean, I think that what people thought would happen with Baylor in the Fiesta Bowl is probably going to happen with Stanford.
Well, they're not the same quality offensively.
Yeah, I think Stanford is probably a better football team than Baylor was that year, obviously.
There's no reason based on UCF's history that this is a place that you'd think that they can win.
Yeah. This year, Stanford is supposed to be a very, very good football team. I've heard, predictions of what does Phil Steele say?
I'll have to look up what Phil Steele says.
You do that, but I will say that I believe that I've heard preseason top 25 at least, if not higher than that.
He's got them number 1 in the North Division of the Pac-12.
Who all is in the North Division of the Pac-12?
Oregon, Cal, Washington, Washington State, Oregon State.
Well, I mean, do you think that Todd Stansbury maybe would make the trip to Stanford?
No, he'll be busy.
You think?
He'll be busy.
I guess his Beavers will be playing the Beavers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He'll be busy.
He'll be busy playing.
So he's got him number 1.
He'll be busy playing with his Beavers.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's rule number 1 that I broke. Anyway, yeah, we're having fun. So, yeah, so that's cool though. What do you think?
I think they lose. I think UCF loses until they win a game like that on the road. I don't have confidence that they win that game without having studied Stanford. I'm just looking at the name.
With new defensive backs, with new wide receivers. Here's the way that they win that game. If Stanback goes to Stanford, or whoever our running back is, and our offensive line makes the giant holes through their defensive line, which is supposed to be a very good defensive line. Their strengths are supposed to be offensive line and defensive line. That's where we win that game. You've got to run it on them because they'll run it on you. Last year, we didn't do horribly well against the run. We weren't bad. I don't know the statistic right now, but when teams started running on us, you saw it with South Carolina a couple of years ago. When they started running on us coming out of halftime is when that thing kind of started to go the opposite direction.
All right, so Phil Steele has UCF 43rd in the country. That's his preseason prediction.
Right.
He has Stanford 7th.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I'm saying.
7th. The Cardinal get my call as the number 1 surprise team in the country, and he says, I think they can win the national title.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think we're going to get hammered. That's why I say that. I hope not. You know that I hope not. But I feel like we're really going to get hammered on that game.
That's a tough game.
Yeah. So
Fox Sports 1 will be the primetime game. 10:30 Eastern time start here in Orlando.
It'll be nice. It'll be a late night.
I'm looking forward to that
kind of thing. Yeah. I mean,
I have some friends going, so I know some people going to that.
People are going to be, in bed, I'm sure, that aren't going to be horribly excited about watching that game, and some people will probably be woken up with others screaming in their houses at the TV.
So you got them 1-1 after 2.
I do.
That's the bottom line.
Yes.
They return home for Furman.
If we don't win that game, there's a real problem. This is the lower level. Is it FCS?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old 1AA.
Yeah. If like I said, I think a week ago or whatever, we were talking about how the one of the other Florida teams, which I won't mention because I think I've said on this thing I don't like to mention their name. One of the other Florida teams lost to a 1AA FCS opponent a couple of years ago, or last year. And that would be horribly embarrassing, and I don't think that that's going to happen.
All right, so 2-1.
Yes.
And I agree so far.
Yeah.
Really gone out on a limb. I agree so far.
That is another 6 p.m. game in Orlando.
Yeah,
which that's nice. I think,
that one's on ESPN3.
Yeah, that's cool.
The Furman game.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Following week at South Carolina. I will be there, by the way. Did I tell you that? I'm going to that game.
Yeah, we were talking about it, and I never actually. Have you finalized all those plans and everything?
Final. Going.
So, I was going to maybe go with you, but I guess I'm not, because you didn't finalize me in those plans.
You can still join.
So, okay, thanks, Trace. Appreciate that.
You can still come.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can get off of my actual job. If only podcasting was the only thing I had to do, I would probably be very poor. Anyway.
So South Carolina, Phil still has 4th in the SEC East. He doesn't look too highly upon them. Doesn't even have them ranked in his top 50.
I think we have a chance of winning that game. I think our new players could be able to have gelled by that time a little bit. They maybe could have the understanding of what's going on a little bit more, especially after playing Stanford. They're going to learn a lot in that game, in the Stanford game. And I think this game may be what tells us about the entire season.
You set up September as a chance to be 3-1, assuming that Stanford loss, right? And for me, I'd take a split of those two games on the road against a Pac-12 team and an SEC team.
Yeah.
Finish the month 3-1.
Yeah. I think it's a tough environment to play in South Carolina. I think it's probably a good squad. I don't think that it's what they have been in the past.
It's still, at the end of the day, a Steve Spurrier coached team.
Right.
And they'll be ready.
They will. They will. I think that we will go in there with a little bit of a chip on our shoulder. Those guys, especially that are juniors and seniors now, and will want to make an impact on this game because, of what happened a couple of years ago.
And UCF had a chance to win that game.
Yeah.
A couple seasons back.
3 points.
Yeah.
On national television.
Exciting game.
It was unbelievable. That was my, home at Bright House Network Stadium favorite game that I've been there for.
So your prediction, win or loss? Just now. I mean, we don't know.
I think if, like I said, if we don't totally get hammered at Stanford, I think this game we could have a better chance of winning.
The way the schedule sets up with Furman coming after the Stanford game, there's an opportunity to recover and regroup at home before going back on the road.
I say that it will be a close game, but we will win it at South Carolina. And
I don't know when I look at this, when we start talking about this, I think we can win. I hope we can win. And part of me says, this is just the kind of game we don't win.
Right.
At an SEC team.
I'm going to say a close game and we win it.
3-1 now you have them. I'm going to go with the win. Optimistically.
Okay.
3-1.
And why do you think that would be a win?
I think of the two, Stanford and South Carolina, I think it is the more winnable game. I think South Carolina has been a bit down. I still think it's a tough environment. I went there when they played at South Carolina some years back in Steve Spurrier's first ever game with South Carolina. And I just think of the two, it's more winnable. But even we're a 6-6 SEC team,
we're a totally different program than they were then. And what happened? Do you remember what happened then?
We lost.
Well, yeah, but I mean, was it a total hammering?
It was like 27-15. We lost. Or something like that. It was. We had an odd score, like an 11 or a 15 or something like that.
Right.
We had a safety or something in that game.
If we get our feet underneath us, I say that's a win by a small advantage.
I think it sets up to be an exciting game.
3-point game, or something like that.
At Tulane, which I will be at, by the way, as well. Going to that one,
lucky
back
you.
to back.
Yeah, that's
Roadies.
Nice. I think that's a winnable game, obviously.
So now you got us 4-1. Well, I have us 4-1 too.
Yeah, Tulane is just Tulane. I mean, there's not a lot to get excited about there as far as football goes. And of course, we will break all of these games down later with a lot more information. We're just going through this game.
You're going 4-1 now.
4-1.
Okay, UConn.
I think that we whip the living crap out of UConn.
Do we get that trophy they made up?
Yeah. And we
What's that called?
we
The civil
destroy
conflict?
it in the parking lot after.
We take a hammer to it.
Yeah.
And
Like not just a hammer, like a big, like a run it over with like a truck. You know that truck that we have that we carry our equipment in? It's beautiful.
yeah.
We need to run it over with that, and then send them a YouTube video of it. Yeah.
So what's that now? 5-1?
That's 5-1. Yeah.
5-1 at Temple.
This is where the
season gets a little more.
starts to get a little hard. It's going to be difficult.
It's a 3-week stretch of games that we're going to come up on here that are
People
they're
are
make or
talking
break the AAC.
about Temple this year.
Well, because they played pretty well.
Yeah.
Strong defensively.
Temple is a very up and coming program. They are that we're not used to them being an up and coming program. You know, a couple of years ago they were not in this in the American, the Big East
They were in the MAC
as
weren't
well.
they?
Yeah, they
went
were
off to
one
the
time
MAC.
kicked out of the Big East and then brought back into the Big East AAC.
Remember the last time UCF played at Temple?
Yes.
J.J. Wharton's catch.
We don't have J.J. Wharton to make the catch this year.
We're not quite sure who we have to make
Yeah.
any catches at
We-
this point. I think we'll know by then.
The only catches that have been made by wide receivers this year have been bullets.
Yeah.
That's not good. It's true. I'm sorry. I had to say it. I've been waiting to say that the entire time. You can blame me, but
I am
it's
blaming
true.
you.
It's true.
Yes.
It's a true statement.
At Temple, win or loss.
That was a very awkward pause. I'll have to edit that. I won't, just so you can experience it, the listeners at home. I say that's the one that we
Stumble on?
stumble.
Temple?
We stumble at Temple.
No, we're going to win Temple.
Okay.
Now you got us 4-2.
4-2 is still pretty dang good.
4-2.
Why is it me making all the? I can't keep track of. Well, where do you have us?
No, maybe you got us more than that. No, you got us 5-2.
5-2. That's still pretty good. Maybe not. I don't know.
I think
about
we win Temple.
Houston at home.
That's a win.
I think
It'll be painful for Houston right at the end again.
It will, and it'll be painful for all of us that have any kind of heart issue whatsoever.
That game time hasn't been announced yet, but I sure hope that's a night game.
Yeah, I hope so too. It usually, the last couple times it has been. So
I hope that's not a 12 o'clock Saturday
at
game.
Cincinnati.
There's the one.
Yeah,
There's the one.
yeah.
That's, to me, where we can trip. That
If
could be
we
what
haven't
costs us.
tripped already.
I don't see it happening. Forget South Carolina and Stanford. I don't think we've tripped into the AAC yet. Though I see the possibility with Temple. But you say up-and-coming program. I say they had a good season last year.
I just think that we're going to
Show
gain
me-
some momentum by beating South Carolina, beating Tulane, beating the living crap out of UConn, smashing that trophy, and then we go into Temple and we lay a goose egg, or I don't know. We're not going to not that we're not going to score any points. I'm not saying that, but we go in there and stumble all over our own feet.
No. I think the stumble game is possibly Halloween night against Cincinnati. Now, Halloween, they haven't announced the game time yet, but that's a good primetime game.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool for that to be a nice prime time on ESPN or something like that. Yeah,
That's the one because we've yet to play Cincinnati.
people are excited about that game. I think Cincinnati's excited about the game. I think UCF's excited about the game, but I think people outside of the AAC are actually probably excited about that game because these are two teams that have not played each other in the AAC yet, and they're two very upcoming programs.
It's one of their more marquee matchups in the AAC.
Did you see the stadium that they redid a lot of revamping?
They're debuting
on
that
stadium
this season,
debuting,
but I think it opens long before we get there.
Yeah.
I don't think it opens against us.
Yeah, no. But they've revamped it quite a bit. and it's pretty nice. There's
So
still a lot of
win or
bleachers,
loss?
but I say we win that game.
You got us losing to Temple but beating Cincinnati.
Yeah,
So
because I think after we beat Houston, the whole you can go back and see that I'm not really good at this. So so what the heck? I'm gonna
that's
say
the one I think we can lose. I think that's the one we lose. I think we win all but one game in the AAC, and I think this is the game we lose. But I don't know whether it ends up costing us.
Yeah, well,
At Tulsa.
we have struggled with Tulsa.
Nah, that's a win.
We've struggled with Tulsa.
Tulsa's been better than they have in years past,
Right.
than they have been more recently.
Right. I think, of course, that we win that game, but we do have quite a history with Tulsa.
Dating back to Conference USA.
Yes, and Conference USA championship games and things like that. Yeah. So
what do you got? You got us at 3 losses, so you got us 7-3 right now
yeah,
with 2 to go.
and I think that East Carolina at home is going to be awesome.
That's a good
That's
rivalry.
going to be a good game.
They're depleted. Of course, you won't know by week 11 whether some of the players that you're not thinking of will rise up for an East Carolina, but they don't have some of the names they had in that heartbreaking loss to UCF.
Yeah, I
last
think
year.
they're going to be fired up.
But it's a road game for them.
Yeah, but still they're going to be fired up. And I think we're going to be fired up just because of the history that we've had with that team and, of course, the history that we had, last year with that. That was insane, and hopefully we'll see George O'Leary smile again.
Primetime game, Thursday night, ESPN.
And that's a good one to have on
Yeah.
prime time
Yeah.
on ESPN.
So there's a win?
They ranked that game one of the top 10 football games all last year on ESPN.
I think it made like 18.
I thought it
Did
was
it make
top
18?
10.
Was it 10?
Yeah. Anyway,
One of the top games of 2014 when ESPN was
That's
counting
awesome.
down. They just replayed it the other night.
yeah, I kind of saw a little bit of it, and then USF at home
Win.
on Black Friday.
Win.
Win?
Win. A win. Not
Oh,
win.
you mean
a win.
a win?
Yeah.
I thought you were saying win.
I don't care what the record is. I'm never predicting UCF
Your
to lose.
win and win are
Close.
close. Yes, with your.
It will be a win.
Of course, it'll be a win.
I'm
And-
never going to pick UCF to lose to them.
And hopefully,
I don't care what they are
Yeah.
or what we are.
What happened the last time when they came to UCF? Do you remember? Do you remember hearing anything about the AD's car?
Yes.
I hope that something like that does not happen again.
It's not a classy move for UCF. The AD, I don't know if they've ever proved anything, of course, but that the car was keyed.
No, the tires were slashed.
I thought it was the car keyed.
No. It was the tires. Every single tire was popped. All 4.
UCF needs to provide a little bit better game day
Well,
security.
UCF had to provide a rental car for him. Is what they had to do. So
Didn't
yeah.
Todd Stansbury drive the AD back over to?
I think they got him a rental car. But anyway, this is a great rivalry.
It doesn't need that to be a great rivalry.
Yeah, it needs to not be close. It needs to just need to hammer them.
Maybe it'll be Willie Taggart, head coach Willie Taggart's final game.
if he's not been fired before that game.
Yeah, that'd be not bowl eligible, like 3-4 wins,
Yeah,
done for.
yeah. So yeah, that. And
So they're
then,
10-2 under you.
Yeah,
Unbelievable. New
Yeah.
secondary, new wide receivers.
I think that. I mean, with the beginning of the season that we have, if they don't have their feet under them by that South Carolina game,
I'm
It's gonna be
reversing my
bad
South
news.
Carolina prediction. I'm going to go loss there, loss Stanford, loss at Cincinnati, 3 losses on the road, 9-3, 7-1 in the AAC.
okay.
I don't know what that does for us in terms of contention for the division. The AAC now has divisions with the inclusion of Navy, and a title game comes up a week after that South Florida Cows game.
And I believe that will be at the
Better record.
best record at home.
So there's a chance to host a game, just as we did when we were in Conference USA.
yeah,
So you got us 10-2.
10-2. That's what I think, and I think
on a rebuilding year with the fewest number of players coming back in the AAC of any team. With like 12 total catches, the most that any one of the wide receivers has.
And 3 bullets. Maybe 2. I don't know how many. But yeah, I think that George O'Leary has built a team that can reload. I don't think it's going to be a rebuilding year. I just don't. It's either going to be that or
Next man up.
Next man up.
Next man up. So we lost guys. New guys step up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Reload.
I didn't know what you meant by that. I was confused. You confused me again with your terminology. It's nothing new, people.
10-2. I'm going to reverse go 9-3, and we'll revisit this right before the season starts. See if you've changed your mind any.
I said 10-2.
Yeah, you've got Stanford and Temple.
Yeah,
as the only losses.
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay.
I mean, yes, we'll revisit it. Of course, we will. My opinions will probably change after every game.
Well, I know, but before the season starts, a couple
right.
weeks from now, after we've seen the team during camp, get a better assessment.
I think that things are going to be a lot better than people think they are. This is going to be our 3rd consecutive AAC championship, and there's a good chance maybe we could make it to that Access Bowl. You never know.
I hope you're right.
I hope I'm right, too. I hope I'm not wrong. I always, of course, hope I'm not wrong.
All right. Bookmark this. Save it. You're on the record.
Yeah.
Today.
Episode 44.
Episode 44.
On the 26th of July. It'll probably change 10 times before. So, anyway, so that's that discussion, I believe. We'll have more discussion next week with Phil Steele, and things could change completely after that as well, because he could give us some tidbit of information that could change my opinion completely.
You're easily swayed.
I'm saying that I'm trying to give myself a back door to get out of my 10-2 prediction. I'm not very good at predictions. I don't know. Somebody could probably tally that up that's listened to this show.
I am aware of that, which concerns me.
Yeah.
Because you're sometimes off on those predictions.
Sometimes I am. Sometimes I'm not. All right, so Charlie Taff
is back.
Well, really, yeah, never left. He's going to be in the booth this year, and that's going to be pretty cool.
Coaching booth?
No. He's going to be up in the booth with Mark Daniels, which will be cool.
I joined the spring game late from a work event and listened to almost the first half on the radio with Mark Daniels and Charlie Taff, and he gave good insight.
I'm sure.
Good coaching perspective.
Yeah.
I think he'll be a good addition to the team.
I think it's going to be awesome. I'm going to have to figure out some way that I can listen to the radio broadcast and watch the game at the same time. I'd like to do that. I'll have to buy one of those AM radios, I guess, because I never get phone service in there, so I couldn't listen on TuneIn, or it'll be like a week late. I'll still be hearing.
There's a bit of a delay.
And
a couple of days.
Here come the Knights, and then it's halftime. Yeah. So, yeah,
the internet connectivity on game day not so strong.
So I'm going back old school, and I'm going to buy one of those little AM radios, and I'm going to put it in my pocket and have an earphone in one ear.
Any aluminum foil involved in this?
Absolutely,
effort?
Yeah, a hat, of course.
Little beanie.
Of course, yeah.
But he's welcome, and he's got good insights.
Oh, it's going to be great.
I think he'll be good.
It's going to be
good to have him still with the program.
Yeah. What else do we got going on? The countdown to the kickoff luncheon is coming up, and now's the time to...
Have you been before?
I have not.
It's a big, big to-do. I got a kick out of the press release about this. This year's event will be a beach-themed affair to celebrate the debut of the Tiki Bar.
Yeah,
of course, they called it the East Side Club, but... So there's going to be beach balls.
Yeah, I forgot that at the Florida International game we will be able to see the Tiki Bar on television, and yeah, that'll be interesting.
The as of yet not announced sold out Tiki Bar.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's going to be the theme. Get your tickets now.
Okay, so yeah, they'll probably be serving like a Hawaiian fare. I'm assuming. Like
I don't know. Years past, it's been hot dogs and hamburgers.
Some poi, and have you ever tried poi? By the way,
I've never tried. What is that?
The stuff that they make. I don't even know what they make it out of, but it's this stuff they.
Now, how can you say that and then not explain it?
Have
you ever had poi but you don't know what's in it?
They eat it in Hawaii.
I know this part, but what's in it?
I don't know, but it's absolutely horrid.
Oh, you've had it?
Yes, I've had it. I've had it in Hawaii, actually. I think they don't actually eat it. I think it's a touristy thing, really. That's what they were telling me. They're like, we don't eat this stuff. We just, serve it to the tourists. I went to one of those luau things in Honolulu, where they had the fire dancers, and it was this whole big to-do, and anyway.
All right, so the Google machine has returned some information on poi.
It's things that we can talk about.
It's made from the underground plant stem or corn of the taro plant. It's a traditional part of native Hawaiian cuisine. It's produced by mashing the cooked corn, baked or steamed, until it is a fluid.
It's gross. I'll tell you that. If anybody is listening in Hawaii, can you send Trace some poi?
Water is added during mashing and again just before eating to achieve the desired consistency.
Call me and I will give
looks
you
like some sort of porridge thing.
An address to send Trace some poi.
Poi.
Yeah. Anyway.
Again, I don't think they're going to have.
They're probably not even listening.
They're not going to have poi.
They're probably not even listening. It's okay.
But did you know?
We probably lost them after we were talking about the Stanford game.
Speaking of food in Hawaii, did you know Hawaii is #1 in the country in consumption of Spam?
No.
That meat.
I know what Spam is. I like Spam, actually.
Do you?
Yeah, Spam's good. Fried Spam and like American cheese. It's like, and you make it like a grilled cheese sandwich.
What's in Spam?
Yeah. Who knows what's in it? It's meat product.
That can't be the quality, the finest
when
quality.
When you're camping and stuff, it's perfect because I like Spam. Fried Spam, man, it's big in like kind of like fried bologna and all that stuff in the South. Fried Spam is big in where is it? Arkansas, maybe maybe that's the fried bologna. I don't know.
Spam, by the way, is a brand of canned pre-cooked meat. The name itself means spiced ham.
Yeah, it's good. Try it.
No.
Send some Spam.
According to its label, Spam's basic ingredients are pork shoulder meat with ham meat added, salt, water, modified potato starch, sugar, sodium nitrate. No.
And now we will be breaking down the next food product on the Knightline Food Podcast.
Which sounds more desirable to you, Spam or poi?
Spam. For sure. In fact, I'm like craving it now.
No.
Neither. I'm buying some.
Neither. I would not eat.
I'm buying some next week, and I'm having you over for Spam burgers. You make it just like a hamburger. You put all the same stuff on it.
What's
onion,
the appropriate
tomato,
craft
lettuce.
beer to serve with that?
With Spam? That would be a vintage Michelob Light.
No, my goodness. It would need to be a lot of beer to have a Spam-related
vintage
meal.
Michelob Light. A Michelob Ultra.
That sounds like your first game tailgate theme. Spam and poi
no,
to
but I
celebrate
think
the tiki bar
I think
opening.
that we should adopt your tailgating theme type thing for UCF this year. I'm going to.
Oh, you mean
adopt
that my friends do for the Orlando City games?
Yes.
Grill the competition.
Yes.
Yeah, we match according to the team we play.
So, for instance, this last week, what did you have?
We played. Who did we play?
New York, or not New York? It was the other New York team, right?
We did. Well, I'm trying to NYC. No, it was the Red Bulls. I'm losing track of.
It was the New York
which
Red
game.
Bulls.
What did we have?
I know you had cannolis for
we had cannolis.
Dessert.
We did have cannolis. We had New York bagel chips. We did Nathan's hot dogs.
That's right.
For this one, when it was NYCFC, we did New York strip steak and New York cheesecake.
Right, and for like
New England, we had New England clam chowder.
Right,
and Boston cream pie.
What did you make the time? And I was like, did you make that?
I did make that against Columbus. Johnny Marzetti is what the dish is called.
It was one of the Canadian teams. And
poutine.
You made poutine.
I made poutine when we played Toronto.
And I told you that I have some Canadian friends, and I had gravy packets that I could have given you.
We play a Canadian team again down the line, so we may. I may need to make poutine again when we play. I think Montreal.
I love poutine. Would
And
you like
it
to
was a
tell
hit.
them? Would you like to tell the listeners what poutine is?
It's much better than Spam.
Because we're talking about spam and poi and all that. So let's have your description of
Basically French fries. I made the gravy.
what kind of gravy is it?
It's a brown gravy, but I made that with what killed me on that was it needed cornstarch. Okay, I don't typically buy cornstarch. It's not much money. It's like 59 cents for like a big can of
And
cornstarch.
you need
next to nothing.
like a
So
pinch.
the gravy's cooking on the stove, and then you throw this teaspoon, if that, in there, and then it all gels up and becomes gravy.
Absolutely.
I watched it, and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
That is the magic of poutine.
And then you pour the gravy, and with cheese curds.
Yeah, cheese curds.
Cheese curds.
Cheese curds are
the brown gravy.
awesome. And
over
where did
French
you
fries.
find cheese curds in Orlando?
Target.
I'm shocked.
They had them.
Cheese curds
Over by
are
the deli.
good. They're good. They're like little mozzarella balls. Oh man,
Poutine.
Normally you would find them in Canada or Wisconsin. But yeah, poutine is a beautiful thing. You have to have it if you visit Canada.
And then a couple of weeks, we've got Philadelphia comes to town for Orlando City, so we're doing, of course, cheesesteaks. And
All right.
I think we're going to go get Tasty Cakes because they're from Philadelphia.
Yeah, you're making me hungry. I mean,
For
seriously,
Spam and
like
poi.
I'm hungry now. I'm buying some spam and I'm gonna have spam and poutine after we get done with this.
Nowhere on the rundown for this episode of the podcast was there these food reviews.
Yeah, but that's fine.
But that's fine.
You can send us your recipes at UCFKnightlinePodcast.com, info at UCFKnightlinePodcast.com. You can email us there.
And then if you eat all of these things, a good way to burn off all those extra calories is to join this new UCF event that Athletics announced this week. They're partnering with Track Shack for a You Can Finish race presented by Florida Hospital that takes you through the campus and winds you into Bright House Networks.
And you can
Stadium.
actually run on the UCF fields. You can actually run on the fields. Like, does that mean the soccer field, the baseball field, the indoor field?
Fields aplenty.
That would be pretty
But
cool.
that's a pretty good run. It'd take you around campus and into the stadium. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be very cool. It's good stuff. So,
And the proceeds from that benefit the Forever Knights Student Alumni Association.
beautiful. That's great. Anything that can benefit any of those associations.
That will be Sunday, October 18th, bright and
Cool.
early.
Cool. Cool.
3 run times, 7:30, 8, and 9:30 for a kids run.
That would be after the Temple game. The day after. So if you're hungover or whatever, this would be a great event for you to.
It's a road game if you're in town.
Work off.
Do you ever do one of these marathons or runs?
Yeah, I used to do like 5Ks and stuff like
Did you?
that. Yeah, 5K. I wouldn't do 10Ks, but yeah.
The 7:30 start for the 5 mile. 8 o'clock for the 2.
Can't do it anymore with the knees though. I have some really bad.
I'm sure you
knees
can
from,
walk.
from playing football. So, who wants to walk when you can run? Anyway, I guess it's time for some news and notes.
Not too many.
Not too many. The UCF women's basketball team will meet Florida this season in the American SEC Women's Basketball Challenge. It's a one-year event and will be held December 30th at Jacksonville Veterans Memorial Arena. In addition to the Knights Gators matchup, USF will square off against Mississippi State.
The first annual. It's a 1-year event. We'll see how it goes before deciding to come back. But I like the idea of it. From UCF Women's Golf Junior, Ayaka Nakayama.
Wow.
How did I get that one?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
It's
Earned a spot in the 2015 U.S. Women's Amateur Championship. Good luck.
wow. That's it's said just the way that it's spelled.
Probably.
I mean, it's
terribly off, but
no Nakayama. Nakayama. I think that's it. Ayaka Nakama.
no.
Yeah, I'm messing it up now.
Yep.
That was fun. Anyway, UCF men's soccer incoming freshman defender Zach Waitman was selected as the top drawer soccer winter high school All-American team. He was also honored as the top drawer soccer winter high school winter high school. I messed this all up.
Keep going.
Anyway, yeah.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty
coming
good.
here.
That's what he's coming to UCF. Zach Waitman. So he sounds like he's a good player.
Good addition to the men's soccer
Guess
program.
what?
What's that?
It has been 45 minutes.
Unbelievable. Phil Still coming up next week to talk about UCF football.
This has been episode number 44. I'm Andrew Phegley.
I'm Trace Trylko. Go Knights!
Charge on.
UCF charge on to the field. With our spirits we'll never yield. Black and gold charge right through the line. Victory is our cry. B-S-E-T-O-R-Y. Tonight our knights will shine.